Alright, second video. Let's do it. So in my last video, I covered my first ever sketchbook that I had, I guess, consistently completed in a sensible amount of time. And shortly after that, in November 2024, I believe, I started this one that you're seeing right now, which is, as you can see by the video, it's in a much worse state than the other sketchbook, but it's also much thicker. You can see just how many pages there are. Maybe they're around the same actually, but yeah, this sketchbook's been through hell. And I would actually preface this by saying this is less of a sketchbook, and more of an art book, where I try to make a lot of finished pieces, as you'll see. And I think that's this topic I want to touch on actually when I talk through this. I won't probably discuss the pictures themselves unless there's something that stands out. Maybe just a passing comment, but yeah, as you can see, November 2024 is when I started. And that's one of my favorite drawings of all time, the one on the right, the guy with the guitar. But yeah, I had this realization of why. I asked myself, why am I drawing? What keeps me drawing? And at first, it was a very worldly view of why I would want to draw. And I did it really, to be completely honest, to impress people. I wanted people to look at my art and go, wow, this guy can draw. Wow, look how beautiful his drawings are. And I wanted to leave a legacy behind when I was gone. And depending on if you're a spiritual or religious person, like you can see there's a cut in that page. I went too hard with the painting. It depends if you're a spiritual person or not, but ultimately I'm a religious person, and to me this world should mean nothing, and I should worry about, the afterlife and stuff. Sorry, that's a very philosophical subject, but I realized I wasn't drawing anymore after a while to impress people. And I'll tie that into how this sketchbook makes sense in a second, but I kind of just draw because I like drawing. I find it therapeutic, I find it very calming. I work a very age is barely hanging on. I work a very intense, mentally straining job. Very competitive, very corporate. Software engineering role. And when I'm drawing, I don't have to think sometimes. Especially if I'm using reference, right? I just go on Pinterest and find something that I find beautiful, that I really like, and I try to recreate it. And that's what this whole sketchbook is. Just artworks, the studies, just things I've seen, still life, real life, Pinterest things, And I realized that I was drawing to want to create finished pieces so that I could post them on my Instagram and hope that people would like my posts. And I realized that's not what it's for. If people like my art, that's fine, but ultimately if no one saw it, this is also one of my favorite pages, sorry, on the left. I love the way I drew the guy on the bottom right. I think it's very expressive. I'm really proud of that page. But I realized, why am I drawing for other people? I've drawn so many years, inconsistently, sure, but for years, on and off, every few months, just for myself. And I saw myself getting trapped and stuck in that sense of wanting to grow on social media, wanting a following, when really I really don't care about that. It's for me to grow, it's for me to paint things that I find beautiful, to almost like journaling, like how do I feel at this moment in time? Do I feel sad? Do I feel happy? And I want to convey that in my art. I want people to feel things when they see my art and maybe just enjoy it, it's not about them, but it's more like, did I portray the things that go on in my head and in my heart, When I'm feeling like stressed out at work, it's very easy for me to play a video game or watch a YouTube video or doom scroll Instagram and not just pick up a hobby like art, where I can actually just zone out and not be be overstimulated by like, you know how Instagram is, you know how YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels and TikTok and all that stuff is. You end up doom scrolling and you don't really stay focused to what you actually want to do. Time goes so by so quickly, so. But yeah, I think that's something I've learned. I don't need to make finished artworks every page. And I think you'll see that maybe the quality in my future sketchbooks becomes worse. Because I'm experimenting, I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to draw, I'm trying to not appease someone's opinion. It's also one of my favorite pages. Look how many lines there are. Damn. I did that. Crazy. But yeah. I realized, you know, I just want to draw. I don't need to create art. A sketchbook is for almost like journaling, like I said, to express your thoughts and feelings. So why am I doing this for other people? And so in my future sketchbooks, you'll see a lot worse pages, a lot more just notes, maybe a lot of very infantile drawings that don't feel very professional, very high quality, or feel like they've been done in 5 minutes. But maybe they are. I want to learn, I want to get better at art, I want to grow, I want to develop. I want to do this until I'm old, until I die, you know. And paint things that mean things more, mean more to me. Paint things that I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about landscapes, but for the longest time I didn't draw them. You'll see them scattered in and out, here and there. For the longest time I just didn't, because I was not good at it and I didn't like not being good at something. So I stuck to what I was good at, which is just random Pinterest stuff, just people, you know. All my landscapes feel and look significantly worse in my opinion than still life, than things that I see, things that I look at on Pinterest and online art and random stuff. I do like this one though. It was very loose. So yeah, I think in this sketchbook you'll see a style that slowly starts to creep in its way. A lot of cross-hatching, a lot of detailed line work, and I'm using a gel pen for most of these. Oh, I do like the next page, especially that on the first page, the top right. I think that's one of my favorite paintings or drawings or whatever he's paints, right? That's one of my favorite paintings I've done of a building. I just find people easy to draw, and I really shouldn't be drawing people because I'm comfortable with them. I should just be drawing things and places and still life. Things that actually mean something to me, things that I find beautiful. There's not so many landscape artists that I'm aware of. But there feels like there's a lot of people that draw faces, and faces are fine, you know. That's fine, you draw what you want. For me, it's landscapes. So that's what's going to change in my future sketchbooks. I'm going to draw a lot more loosely and a lot more expressively, even though these are quite expressive in my opinion, but a lot more focused on what I want to do. A lot more just ease, you know. I should be drawing like it's just natural. I shouldn't be worried about what the end result is. I shouldn't care if it looks good or bad. I just should be able to just pick up a pen, pick up a paintbrush and paint. And if it looks bad, I don't care. And if the person watching my video cares, screw him. It's not for you. No offense. I do like the birds. I really want to get into watercolor again and gouache. I've been trying, but it's much harder than I thought. That's for sure. I would do oil painting, but it's a lot of mess and a lot of cleanup. See, you see the crosshatch? Do you see the crosshatch style I'm talking about? not something I tried to learn. That is just something that came from experimenting. I think that's something interesting about finding your style, is that we worry. You know, you see a lot of YouTube tutorials on how to find your style. And a lot of them fail to mention, sure, look at studies of people that you like artwork from, but that's true, but just draw. Just draw a metric ton. Draw more than anything else. Replace some of your time that you spend doing your other hobbies, video games or doom scrolling or, you know, whatever it is, and just draw more. Just pick up a pen, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. Just start, trust me. Because I think the hardest part is starting, and once you start it gets that, you know, 5 minutes turns into 2 hours. I really like these pages as well. I have I use an ink brush. One is diluted and one is not. I think they're Pentel Aquash watercolor pens, like they're like water refill pens. I like this page too. I need to do more stuff like this. You'll see there's a lot more landscapes happening. Not landscapes, like buildings and places, and they're not good. You can just see how much I drew, like how filled these pages are, and we're approaching the end. It's been 12 minutes and I'm going through these really quickly. I hope you appreciate just how much I've drawn on this sketchbook over a year and a half. Bear in mind, in this year and a half that I took to complete the sketchbook, I had started a new job. Which is not an excuse, but it took up a lot of my time. I had to upskill very quickly. It's a very high intensity job. So I'm very proud. You know, I think this is 130 sides. Or it must be something like that. 120, 130. But I hope I just express the emotion, or the feeling, or the sense of atmosphere that I see. If I can do that, then I think I've done all I wanted to do. And on that note, that's the end. November 2024 to February 2026. And the back page was just for testing dried out pens. But yeah, this sketchbook has been through hell. It's falling apart. I took it to loads of places. You'll just see how thick it is. That's 130 sides, not pages, sides. And the fact that I did this in a year and a half, I'm amazed, you know? I didn't expect to be able to do this in a year and a half. But alas, I hope you enjoyed. Sorry for the philosophical discussions. Thank you very much. Goodbye.